Lost in the Cursed Mountain. The crisp air of Mount Merapi felt refreshing as Arya, Dinda, and Bayu began their trek. They had heard tales about the mountain being cursed, but they dismissed them as mere folklore. Armed with a map and supplies, they aimed to reach the summit before sunset. As the group ascended, the path grew narrower, shrouded by dense fog. The trees loomed tall, their twisted branches clawing at the sky. The air grew heavy, and the usual sounds of the forest, chirping birds and rustling leaves, faded into silence. "This place feels strange," Dinda said, clutching her jacket tighter. "Relax," Bayu replied, though his own unease was evident. "It's just the altitude messing with your head." Arya checked the map, his brow furrowing. "The path doesn't look like this. I think we're off course." Before they could decide on their next move, a distant cry echoed through the forest. It was faint, almost human, but distorted enough to make their skin crawl. "Did you hear that?" Dinda whispered. "It's probably just the wind," Arya said, though his voice betrayed his doubt. The group pressed on, hoping to find their way back to the main trail. But the deeper they ventured, the stranger the forest became. The trees appeared to move when they weren't looking, and shadows danced in their peripheral vision. As night fell, the trio stumbled upon an abandoned campsite. A tattered tent and scattered belongings lay untouched, as if the previous occupants had fled in haste. "Let's rest here," Arya suggested, though none of them felt safe. Bayu lit a small fire, its flickering flames casting eerie shadows. Dinda sat close to the others, her eyes darting around nervously. "I don't like this," she murmured. "It feels like we're being watched." Suddenly, the fire extinguished itself, plunging them into darkness. A low, guttural growl emerged from the forest, followed by the sound of footsteps, slow and deliberate. "Who's there?" Arya called out, his voice trembling. A figure emerged from the shadows. It was humanoid but grotesquely deformed, its skin pale and stretched tight over sharp bones. Its eyes glowed faintly, and its grin revealed jagged teeth. "Run!" Bayu shouted, grabbing Dinda's hand. They bolted through the forest, the creature's guttural growls and rapid footsteps close behind. The trees seemed to close in, their gnarled branches snagging their clothes and scratching their skin. Arya tripped and fell, twisting his ankle. "Go!" he yelled, waving them forward. "We can't leave you," Dinda cried. The creature loomed over Arya, its grin widening as it reached for him. But before it could strike, Arya pulled out a small knife and slashed at its arm. The creature let out an ear-piercing shriek, momentarily recoiling. Taking the chance, Bayu and Dinda helped Arya to his feet, and the trio stumbled forward. The forest suddenly opened up, revealing the trailhead where they had begun their journey. Panting and covered in scratches, they turned to look back. The forest was still, the cursed mountain retreating into the fog as if swallowing its secrets. "We're never coming back here," Bayu muttered.